everybody, welcome back to the channel. As you can hear, I'm finally feeling better and sounding better. So, sorry for the, lack of new content and post in the last couple of weeks. I've tried to get out a video every Saturday yet, but I'm feeling better, so let's hope it stays that way. The last time I left off, we were working on the good old Plymouth here, and I cut out all the nasties I think you saw from under the wheel well here, and I've slowly been off camera, letting my voice heal and trying to work on massaging out this part of the panel a little bit. And I know I still have a bunch of work to do down here, but this area is coming out pretty well. I'm trying to take measurements and contours off the driver's side, pull them over, and whatnot. I have actually I have this fender is loose, and I'm finding more rusty spots up here, but unfortunately I don't have another fender, so we're going to end up just cutting and patching these in, and that's going to be just fine considering how little affected area is here. Just right up here is really all the crusties we've got to cut out. I'll probably clean up around this light where the wiring came through for the light, but our fuel filler is all good to go. And I've got one more bolt before the bumper comes off. We may have found a place up in the cities that'll get our chroming done for us at a good price, and apparently a company's been around for, well, decades. I got the information from my uncle who used them to chrome his hot rod parts years ago. He still had a paper receipt, handwritten, versus anything electronic. So if that tells you how long it's been, they've been around, that's a good sign. Today, kind of my plan is to work on filling in some of this metal on the back of the wheel well. And I had a good idea. I get those once in a while, but my idea is I just picked up the English wheel, which would be really kind of neat to use, but I have this old original fender, and there's still some good metal in here, I think. At least back here looks pretty metally and not too bondo-y. So what I want to do is find some of that area on that old fender, the same contour of the inner piece here, and just reverse it. So we're keeping as much original metal on the car as possible, which in my mind is pretty important. I mean, sure, I can make patch panels, but if we have the metal from the same time period, the same thickness, everything else, why not try and use that? Now looking in here, I know I've got to do some work in here, but if I can at least work my way up to maybe this halfway point here, I've already gone and pulled some of this out. I've moved some of this out. You can see it's popped back out, but need to get a little more of the reinforcement done back here so to hold that shape. I did go ahead and took my football. Yeah, my workbench is a mess again. Took the good old football, shoved it in here, and inflated it to help bring that out a little bit. And if you want to see more about that, check out the Fiesta video up here, which sadly he's still over here. I need to get the tie rod loose in the front so I can give it a little bit of an alignment. Otherwise, I finally got the hardware in a few weeks ago for the front bumper assembly and rear bumper assembly. But honestly, this fall, we've been too busy. I've been sick. A lot of weekends camping with the family and a couple of other tractor shows and family time. And it's just sort of taken a back burner. But fall is here, and that car needs to get out of the shop because I got more stuff coming in, primarily hay for the horses. But need to make room, and that's got to go. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Let's grab that fender. Let's grab some contours and see if we can't piece it in. I know it's going to be a few pieces, and you know, some of you might say, well, you should do it all in one piece. less welding, less places for, air. But trying to contour this entire piece, I don't have a piece big enough, because that's going to be probably close to a 5 feet sheet, 2 to 3 inches wide. And I know I don't have the knowledge on the English wheel to do something that complex out of the gate. And I was going to be doing it in like 12 to 18 inch sections anyways. But if we can take this panel, this fender, cut it out, flip it over and put it in there, just doing some initial poking around, it looked like it was going to be a pretty close fit. And I think the owner is going to be just fine with that. After all, there was chicken wire and fiberglass in there before. So let's go ahead, find our fender, find some tools, and start hacking this thing up. Alrighty, I've got my better trimmed lines here. Going to be these right here and this one here. So I'm going to try just to smooth this out a hair more along here. I know it's not going to be perfect, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's going to be welded in place, ground down, and you're not going to see it. And I'll go ahead and knock down anything that bubbles up or pots up, pools up on the top side on the inside. But at the end, we're going to go ahead and recover this inside here with that black sort of rubberized undercoating. And there is carpet that goes in there too. So it's not like this is going to be highly visible. And especially once we get up here, never going to see anything behind the metal. So I'm going to go ahead and get this trimmed down. Probably take my angle grinder and knock that off. And then hopefully, I'm still going to run it just a little bit long, a little bit wide, to make sure we get it in there and don't end up with shorting ourselves and having it be too narrow, because I don't want to have any big gaps to fill in here for welds. So let me go ahead. I'm going to get this cleaned up in here a little bit, get this cleaned up, and then we'll see where we're sitting. All right. Well, we have gone ahead and well, not we, I guess. Have gone ahead and cut this out. It fits in pretty well. I'll work it in as I tack it in place and pull it down a few spots. Just, it's a little different curvature of the metal, but for what we're doing, it's going to be perfect, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and fire up the good old Vulcan 220 and see if we can at least get that tacked in place. By no means perfect, but you know what? That's fine. We'll clean it up. We've got tack welds in here in a dozen places around the edge here. And what's next for me to do is just go ahead and stitch everything in little by little. work my way around, go here, go here, go here, go here, 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 here. Just keep going around in circles until I get everything welded in. And probably by then my tank of gas is going to be empty because somehow the gas just keeps escaping. Not like I haven't had other stuff I'm welding on. Anyways, for right now, that's what I'm going to do is go ahead and get that welded around. Then I'm going to go ahead and get the next piece cut out or recycled out of the other old fender. Get that in place and just slowly work my way around until I'm up to, like I said, about this point here. Because that's where I'm going to have to start pulling and pushing and getting these final dimensions down here figured out where I go, because down here is kind of a mess, I said. And I'm hoping as I get this stuff done, I can drill in some of the alignment or the holes where the nuts and bolts will go. Now, the old stuff had these guys here. Which I'm guessing I'm going to have a difficult time finding, much less getting back on. So what I'm likely going to do is just find, at least once I get up here, find where the holes go and tack in, weld on some nuts from the backside. So that should hopefully solve our problem. I'm going to look for these just in case, but I don't know how much of a luck I'm going to have finding them. Because I know I certainly can't get back here with just loose nuts and bolts. So let me go ahead and get this first piece stitched the rest of the way in, and then we'll work forward on getting the next piece cut and a couple of holes made. Hopefully I'll figure out what I'm going to do with this. All right, we're back here, a new day and another delay, kind of, I guess, how it goes. We have these little floating cage nut cage fasteners, and I need a bunch because these are toast. So I went out on the good old interwebs, found some. They'll be here a couple of days, but that gives us a little bit of time to do something else while we wait, because why sit around on our butt and watch YouTube when we can be doing something, right? Yep. Anyways, the reason I can't go ahead and continue putting more of the metal in this inner fender well, whatever you want to call it here, is once I get up to here, I don't have room for a through bolt. I need to temple it out, mark, and make holes in these pieces for the nuts or the bolts to go through, and then I have to tack on these cages. So you can see we've got all of these holes that run along the inside that bolt up into here, about 10 of them. So I've kind of got to wait on that for now, which sucks because I was really just getting going on it, and now I got to halt again. Anyways, here's a better shot of all those holes. Then underneath, the bolt comes up through here into the body, and then tacked on is that nut. So need to get that done first, get those parts arrived before I can really do anything else back here in this corner. So what I think I'm going to try and do is get off the other side of the bumper on the back here. In the front bumper, there is I believe we've got a chromer to use up here in the cities, J&D custom plating, and get all the chrome parts off and get those up to him and get those started. Now is a slow time, so what better time to get him some chrome also before the snow flies, and I don't really feel like taking the pickup anywhere. Because for those of you that know, 1-ton dually in the snow is about as useless on, well, you can find that analogy. So, also going to work on getting the running boards off, get off the front fender wells as well. And just kind of get the rest of this thing stripped down as long as we've got a little time. It's it's a balmy, come on, 61 degrees in here today. So short sleeves may get long sleeves sometime soon. Yeah. So here's the side, like I said, it's just about off. We've got to go ahead and pull off the 3/4 inch bolt under here that's holding the rest of this bracketry and the bumper on. This bolt is frozen on, so I'm gonna have to cut him off. Otherwise, get the rest of the hardware to go up. Well, I have to try and cut the nut because I don't want to cut the bolt because that's also where there's a chrome piece. So that's what I'm going to do for the moment. And if I get all this stuff done, I don't have the parts yet, I'll finish welding up that one plate that we did just put in. And maybe twiddle our thumbs until we get the parts, because it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We've got parts, we got no parts, we got good weather, we got bad weather. So I need to get this thing stripped down so I can start taking parts back and forth to the garage. Work on body work once it's too cold to be out here. So anyways, I'm gonna quit rambling because nobody wants to hear that. And you probably don't want to watch me take parts off, so maybe you won't see a lot of that either. We'll see. All right, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it off here. We're gonna get to running long if it's one video, so I'm gonna break this into 2 parts. We're still waiting for parts to arrive, so hopefully they'll be here soon. And for now, I'm just doing what I can do to keep taking this thing apart so we can start bringing it up here to the garage to work on it, because weather is changing, and probably within the next week or so, I'll be getting kicked out of the shop for the rest of the winter. So thanks for watching this one. Catch the next segment where we finish up whatever we're working on and hopefully make some forward progress. Thank you much, take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.